Welcome to the Coffee Club, broadcasting live from New York with your host, Felix, and co-host, Dr. Mark. So let's have a cup of coffee and enjoy the show.
There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, the Coffee Club. I'm your host, Felix.
And guess what?
What?
I'm back.
Good for you.
All that mail, everybody wanted to know where I was.
They did?
I thought you told everybody I had Ebola.
You look like you had Ebola.
Let me tell you, devastating disease.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our show. Our phone number is 646-595-3275. And if you want to go in our chat room and log in with us in our chat room, you go to www.blogtalkradio.com/CC Radio Network.
That's too much for me to remember. It's changed.
Well, I'm going to repeat it again so people remember
I have to write that down.
Okay, write it down, ladies and gentlemen. www.blogtalkradio.com/CC Radio Network.
CC, does that mean yes, yes?
Yes, yes. CC, yes, yes.
CC.
And then
all right.
Then we're going to start up the chat room right now if anybody's on.
For you shy people who don't want to speak, you can always chat a question, type a question.
Now we're in the chat room. Let's see. All right.
Look at all those names.
Yeah. What names? If anybody wants to go in the chat room, they can go in the chat room. All right.
You know, it reminds me of the long lines outside the women's bathroom when you go to a movie theater or a show. You know, always a long line. Men just walk right in. You know, women, it takes about 30 minutes online before you can even get inside.
Well, they go ahead of time.
And then you know what happens. You choose a stall that has no toilet paper, and you're literally up Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, I guess so. Very nice, Mark. Anyway, today's
I'm just
topic,
trying to keep up with you, Felix.
Me? I'm the quiet one.
Well, I just want to let people know that I'm back with a vengeance.
Yeah,
That's
I see
why.
that. Today's topic is basically current events, if you really want to look at it.
That's right. Remember in elementary school, folks, when every Monday, it used to be always after a weekend.
Well, today's Monday.
That's true, too. I forgot that, see? It's the Ebola. You know, I can't help it. But it's true. Every Monday used to be Current Events Day because it was after a weekend of newspapers. And you had to cut out a newspaper and be able to explain what the article was about and then take questions.
Yeah, I remember.
And that was tough for me because I was the teacher.
Did you have to cut out your articles also?
Yeah, I generally cut my articles out of the Playboy letters to the editor, you know.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so we've got, let's go over some of the topics we could talk about. We've got Ebola, with this first case in the United States. Should we start panicking?
I tell you, you still have ISIS in the news, threatening to behead another British...
American this time. It's an American now.
Oh, now an American?
Back to an American. Then we've got elections coming up.
That's true.
We still got Putin playing games in Ukraine.
I'd like to put him somewhere.
What else do we have? We got Putin. We got that. Trying to think, there's other stuff going on. We've got ISIS.
Well, you've got, if you're a baseball fan, you have the playoffs now.
Yeah.
Giants seem to be, after losing 2 games in the NFL, are on a 3-game winning streak. Okay. Jets are off to their usual slow start. I don't know.
We got Syria, obviously, with ISIS. We've got Iraq, Israel, and the West
How
Bank.
about the person who went visiting in the White House and practically made it into, that was about 2 weeks ago, practically made it, the Secret Service.
Lied.
I remember back when they had the last scandal, when they had Secret Service agents, I don't know if it was in Colombia or wherever they were, fooling around with prostitutes, and they finally got this woman, Pearson, who was a 30-year Secret Service person, and they said, she's going to shake things up because now we have a woman, and they can't even keep people away from the president, keep him out of harm's way. She just resigned, so who knows what they're going to do.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know she resigned.
Yeah. She resigned over the weekend.
What's his name resigned? The head justice guy, what was his name?
Oh, Holder. Eric Holder. Well, he didn't. He stepped down. Okay.
That's resigning, isn't it?
Well,
what is stepping down? Resigning.
Hey, look, he had
quit.
the job. He had the job for 6 years. Most cabinet people stay 2 years, 4 years tops.
But he resigned. He quit. That's the end of it.
Well, he's better off. What does he need the headache for?
Yes.
I mean, he bore the brunt of a lot of negative press, I felt. But then again...
Not undeserved.
Well, something? The only other person I remember getting such flack was Janet Reno. Okay. Well, that was during Waco, and Elian Gonzalez, remember him? The kid when they stormed into the house and took him out of the closet and they sent him back to Cuba. The little kid, the 6-year-old kid, she got a lot of flack for that. So.
I remember that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this guy Holder got involved in too many state issues.
No, he said things that he knew the president couldn't say. All right, as the chief, judge in the government, because that's what he is, the chief prosecutor in the government. He said things that the president couldn't really say.
Like what?
Well, I think he, talking about Ferguson, Missouri, and Michael Brown,
and Zimmerman, all the stuff he shouldn't have been.
Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman.
Yeah, all the stuff he shouldn't have been involved in.
Well, you see, but George Zimmerman, if they would have just taken a step back and let the couple of years go by, this guy's been in so much trouble already on his own. Problems with his temper, and he's just showing everybody the fool that he really is,
But it's all been minor stuff, basically. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate that he's.
Well, it's unfortunate that they didn't bring him up on
what?
At least criminally negligent homicide. I mean.
Listen, we weren't at the trial.
You're right, we weren't.
And we don't know what's going on, and he had a judge of his, he had...
Well, Florida's a free-for-all, I mean, you carry a gun wherever you go.
Yeah.
My friend, who is going back down now for a few months, said that in his development, a lot of the people, they openly carry their guns. People say they wouldn't leave home without it. It's like the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Yeah, but he doesn't live in a 55 and over development.
Who?
Your friend.
Sure he does.
What,
and he said a lot of the guys that he plays ball with all carry guns.
I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't want to have an argument with the umpire.
Well, you don't hear that many shootings in Florida as in New York, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I mean, with all this...
Well, but ladies and gentlemen, We want to know what you would.
No, you bring up a subject, and then you drop it. Why don't we look at your statistics where the most shootings are? The most shootings are where there are the most regulations.
All I'm doing is asking the people. I wasn't changing the subject. I was just asking them what they would like to discuss. Give us a call if you have something you want to discuss. Remember, this is current events, so just about anything that's happening when you pick up a paper is current events. So let us know.
No, but my point is, Mark, we talk about people carrying around guns, but in those states, the murder rates are very low, gun-related.
Somehow, I don't think you could lump Florida in that category. I think the deaths by shooting is rather high in Florida.
You think so?
I think so. Why don't you go to Google and look it up?
Why don't we go check and see? But I'm sure they're higher in Chicago where there's a lot of guns.
Now, did I say no?
I'm just
saying. I mean, in Chicago, you pick up the paper. Chicago has the highest incidence of homicides of any state in the Union, city in the Union.
Yeah. I'll say it's a lot of people.
Gun violence in the United States. I think that's a good place to start.
Yep. Fast stats, homicide. Let's see, there were 16,000 deaths. Death per 100,000 population is 5.2. Number of death by firearms, 11,068. This is in 2010, I believe. Okay, that's not facts are not what we were looking for. State and territorial data. Let's see, death rate.
For what year is this?
I think it's not telling me, but I think it's 2010 for some reason.
Yeah, look at California. Oh, that's births.
Yeah, but what kind of deaths are there? That's the problem. They're not really saying what kind of deaths they are. Doesn't help us much. If a lot of people are dying, but they're dying of old age, this is not what we're looking at.
That's why I said go to the first one, gun violence in the United States.
Okay, now let's see. Homicides.
Too far.
No. We're going to have to check them by state. Maybe they'll have it that way. Okay.
Gun crime statistics.
Okay. Let's see. California, 11,811 deaths. Gun murders, 12,057 in California.
No, that's
1,257 murders, gun murders. Let's see.
Yeah, go to New York.
New York, 517.
Very little in comparison.
Texas, 805. This is right, gun murders, 805. So far, California is the highest. Illinois is only 364. That can't be
Well,
right.
you also have like 37 and a quarter